This will be a review of the Henry Big Boy 38 Special 357 Magnum lever gun from Henry Repeating Arms, all made in the USA. Shooting pistol caliber ammunition in a long gun is not new, but Henry Repeating Arms has turned this into a jewel of a rifle, perfect for short-range hunting that's inside 100 yards, or home defense, or just plain having a good time at the range. It is almost the perfect long gun. From the beautiful blue 20-inch barrel to the gorgeous wooden stock, complete with all brass fixtures, this rifle is a work of art. The brass receiver is made of proprietary alloy brass, only from Henry Repeating Arms, and makes an exceptionally smooth action for a lever gun. The stock itself is, the fit and finish is absolutely gorgeous for this rifle. You almost don't want to shoot it. Personally, I don't have a firearm that I don't shoot. So this has had about 500 rounds through it already. I don't hunt, but if I did, this could definitely take down edible game if I needed to do that. It's a gorgeous rifle. I did have to, because my eyes are a bit old, touch up the brass part of the front sight with a little paint so that I could see it. But I did also add a Burris LRS optic to it, because I never have a rifle without a sling. It was fortunate that Henry also had an accessory for making sling attachment. Now the one that went into the stock, I had to have an armor ado because I certainly didn't want to mess up the beautiful wood. The sling itself is made by DeSantis, especially for the Henry rifle. As I mentioned before, from the magnificently blued 20-inch barrel through the walnut stock, the precision of the fit of the pieces on this gun, and the care taken and the workmanship and craftsmanship to create this rifle is incredible. It almost makes it like you don't want to shoot, but to have something like this just sit there and look pretty is just not something I like to do. The brass receiver and the lever action is exceptionally smooth, and this is especially true after about 50 rounds or so. It's like, I want to say like butter, but I think someone has already said that in another review. The stock is a comfortable length. As we move down to the stock, you see that it also is made with a great deal of care and precision. This is just a gorgeous rifle and a gorgeous firearm. This is another look inside the receiver area. As you can see, it's all machined brass from a single piece. The bolt, which is moved by the lever, does the extraction of the round, and then the round is extracted out of here. Like all lever guns, one movement of the lever cycles each round. To cycle around, You move the lever, round pops out, the hammer is forced back by the bolt, you move the lever forward, and the next round is chambered. I'll show you where the rounds come from in a second. But it's important to note that the hammer is now in the ready to fire position. All you do is pull the trigger. There is no mechanical safety on this firearm. So you have to pay attention because you can't see if you have a round in the chamber or not. So it is always a good practice to make sure that the hammer is always forward, because it can't be fired once the hammer is forward. If you have a round in the chamber and you know you've cycled it, you pull the hammer back just like a double action pistol, and you can fire the weapon. The cycle, you have to move the lever. I did see a person who had one of these at the range. He was very excited for the same reason I am, but he had never really worked with his rifle, and he had rounds in the chamber and the hammer back and was muzzling folks and really didn't understand that that his rifle was in an unsafe position. I explained it to him, and hey, we learn. So a lever action rifle, whether it's a Rossi, Winchester, Moss, whatever, you have to understand how that rifle is made safe. In this one, the rifle is made safe by making sure the hammer is forward at all times until you're ready to fire. So how do the rounds get into the rifle? Well, it's fairly simple. This is a loading tube. The rounds are loaded rear end first, with the firearm standing on its butt, and you drop in the rounds one at a time here, and then the securing rod is put back into the rifle. Now you'll have to be holding the lever in the closed position because it gets really tight, and it will want to force the lever open. You don't want to do that. You want to hold the lever and make sure that it's closed when you secure the the loading chamber, the magazine. This holds 9 .357 rounds and 10 .38 special rounds. Because of how this rifle loads its ammunition, you quickly come to understand it is not a tactical run and gun rifle. It's for short range hunting inside 100 yards. 100 yards is extremely accurate. And whatever you can't get done in 9 or 10 rounds, you probably need to rethink and go to your AR or some other kind of rifle. I don't know of any classic lever gun that works well in a run and gun tactical environment. This one is no exception. Now, one thing to pay attention to is, because the rounds are extracted here, you cannot have the rifle in a weird position, canted sideways, upside down. You need a little gravity to help get the rounds out. Some people don't like this gun because it's a bit sensitive to that, and some of the other lever guns are too. So this rifle likes to be vertical when you're working the lever. Now, as far as the pistol caliber goes, a .38 special shot through this gun, because of the weight of the barrel and the length, feels like you're shooting a .22. There's actually no felt recoil or muzzle rise at all shooting that caliber. Shooting a reasonable .357 round is almost the same. It's a very enjoyable gun to shoot. You could shoot it all day and not get tired or feel the effects of felt recoil. That's one of the reasons why I like the rifle. If you're a hand loader, this is a dirt cheap rifle to shoot. Henry Rifle Repeating Arms sells an optics rail. The rifle comes pre-drilled to mount this rail for optics. It makes it very, very nice for these aging eyes. This is a Burris 1:4 optic. It does just fine, 100 yards, 150 yards. From standing offhand, you'll be in the black most of the time. So you're going to really hit what you aim at with this rifle. Beyond 100, 150 yards, you probably want something that's has a little more power and not so much of an arc for the round. For those of you that also have a 38-357 pistol, this can be a perfect complement to that. Again, this is not a tactical run and gun rifle, but if you're out hunting or you're at the range and you want to practice with your long gun and with your handgun, you can do it inexpensively by using the same ammunition. If you reload, it's even better. There are some lever action models that are Italian, and that the rounds eject through the top of the firearm. Obviously, you can't put an optic on that gun. So unless you really enjoy shooting iron sights and you have really good eyes, you probably wouldn't like that brand of lever gun. The rest eject out of the side, and some also load through the side as well. Instead of having a tubular magazine like this one does, where you're loading through the tube, you can load through the side. It does have some advantages for keeping the firearm loaded if you're behind cover. Again, this is not a run and gun type firearm, but it does do the job in a defense and or hunting mode. I would recommend the Henry Big Boy 38 Special 357 Magnum lever gun.